Hi everybody, welcome back to Jenkins Boat Works. I am Chuck Jenkins. In this episode we continue working on the Haven, and we are getting very close to doing our second sea trial. We got the bottom painted last weekend and it's all sealed and ready to go, and so we're likely going to put her on the trailer within the next couple of days. In the meantime, I've been working on some of the hardware, the boat jewelry, if you will, and doing the finishing touch type stuff, as well as very seriously getting ready to do the rig. So stepping the mast, doing the standing rigging and that sort of thing. But like I said, in the meantime, we're doing some of the hardware stuff that attaches to the boat. For example, we got the Traveler on, and in this episode we're actually going to concentrate on the coaming brackets here. We got these from Jim Reinick, as well as pretty much all of the brass or bronze on the boat, and so we're pretty excited about it. It's just beautiful, and there are some tricks to it though, and the coamings actually has some peculiarities that I felt was important enough to spend a little bit of time talking about how we get these mounted on here. So anyway, if you're new to the channel, would you consider subscribing? And if you're coming back, I believe we're on our 121st episode. A number of videos are grouped in 4 playlists if you are interested in all at how this has gone over 4+ years. So anyway, it's very exciting. Sometimes when I look at this and look back at it, I can't believe how far we've come. And we're really getting to those finishing touches now where we really see a lot of satisfaction from the fruits of the labor. So anyway, we're glad you're here. Let's jump in and look at how we get the coaming brackets on. Okay, so I've started working on putting the coaming corner brackets in. So we got one on the port side, and that one we got put in last night. But it was complicated enough, I thought it was video worthy. So we're gonna put the other one in back in this corner, and here is the bracket right here. And so you'll see that there's that little R on there. I got these from Jim Reinick. There's 6 holes that are countersunk, so you use wood screws, and they're number 8 bronze, 3/4 inch long. These other 2 holes are actually tapped out so that they're threaded. So those go back up near the top of the coaming like that. And then you got to drill through the coaming and then thread them into those holes, which proved to be kind of tricky. So we're going to do some video and show just exactly how we do that. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to make sure that these will thread, because I had a really hard time getting these little machine screws to thread in here. These are number 10-24 machine thread, and like I said, these 2 holes are threaded. So what I was having a problem with was actually getting them to thread. See, it's really tight in there. So when I was doing the one last night, I didn't realize they were going to be that tight, and I had to take the whole thing back off and then just take my screwdriver and, oh, that's the wrong thing. And actually run these through here a little bit to get them to just kind of loosen up those threads just a little bit in there. Just kind of twist them in and out a couple, 4 times. That one actually is turning easier than the other one. Okay, so that, now I can turn that one by hand. Okay, and so the idea is that then these have got to come through the coaming back here. So I'm going to have to drill through the coaming, which, as we know, is one of my favorite things to do, is drill holes in boats. Not. So now part of the trick is going to be, so it's got to go like that, because these two are the ones that come through the coaming. All the rest of these are just number 8 wood screws. So we have to have it lined up on there to where we're not down on the side deck, because I have to actually have it go through there. So, and now at this point I want it to be even with the other one over there. I'm actually going to measure that. Okay, so just for the aesthetics of it, and because it'll help me know where to place it, I'm going to measure this, and at the very edge of that corner right there, I'm almost 7/8 of an inch, probably 13/16. So I'm going to measure over here. Right there, and I want to be 13/16 there. I believe that's about it right there. So I'm going to mark this where the top of that is, and I'm going to mark this little hole. Now, in an effort to make sure I hit that mark, I'm going to start it with this countersink bit because it's got a really sharp point on it. Okay, I'm through on the other side. Now let's do the lower one. I was having a hard time seeing that, but Joseph's here and helped point it out with his young eyes. Part of the trick of this is that, we're so close to the transom that the drill's like getting in the way of it. Okay, now let's check that. Pretty good. Pretty good. Now I'm going to come through the other side. And now the transom's getting in the way again. That's going to have to be a wider hole in that, so we're going to go to this next bit. Just slightly bigger than, slightly less than a 1/4 inch. I can't remember what this drill bit is. Enough for a number 10 bolt. So that now fits in there. Now the rest of it is I've got to countersink this from the outside, but the countersink bit is too short. So what I found out I could do was take this little drill bit holder, and the countersink bit just fits right in there, which is actually awesome. So I'm basically going to countersink this by hand. So that the head of that machine screw will sit flush with the outside of the coaming here. So let's test this and see if we can get it to thread. How about that? Okay, now we're going to take this back out of here and drill the rest of that hole. That actually threaded in there easier than either one of the other two last night. I'm just going to do that loosely so that I got a little play if this didn't. Jim, if you're watching, thank you. This works. Boy, it's tough to get them both lined up. I believe it's threading. How about that? After that, we'll just go ahead and drill in here for the wood screws, which are the number 8 3/4 inch, and put those other 6 ones in there, but that's basically it. Okay, so now just a quick shot to see how these machine screws come into the coaming from the outside. So you can see that they're flush with the outside of the coaming. And then on the inside, take a look at the other one, and then this is the one that we were looking at when we were doing the video. You can see how those two up there at the top, those are the ones that screw through from the outside in, and the rest are just wood screws. You know, the original intent of these was to hold the coaming firm against the transom. I actually put some epoxy in between the coaming and the transom, so it was plenty strong and would have held all by itself. So some of this is just jewelry, but it also occurs to me that when these were being built in the early 1900s, at least the Hirschoff 12s, that this was used to actually join these two pieces of wood together. So they had an important function. It's almost like a corner knee and a brace. So what I find halfway amazing about this is that I got these from Jim Reineck, as I mentioned, and you know, they come as a standard size with a standard bevel, and they're, you know, you can't bend them any more than what they already are. So the fact that they're fitting as well as they are tells me that the coaming is really at the right angle that it's supposed to be in relation to the transom, which is a nice, happy, wonderful thing. Because there would have been a possibility, like if the coaming was moved in too far or out too far, that this angle and bevel of the bracket wouldn't be the same as the wood. But I mean, we are very close. So anyway, remember number 10 machine screws, number 1024 machine screws, and number 8 by 3/4 bronze wood screws. We'll do some more bronze later. That's it for now.
Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.